Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into a story that's been making headlines across the country, the Trump administration's move to take control of Washington D.C. as Union Station. This decision has sparked a mix of surprise, curiosity, and debate about what it means for one of America's most iconic transportation hubs and the city that houses it. In this video, we'll explore the background behind Union Station's struggles, why the federal government is stepping in now, what changes could be coming, and how this move fits into a broader political and economic narrative. So, let's unpack what's really going on and what it could mean for travelers, commuters, and D.C. residents. Union Station isn't just another train terminal. It's a century-old architectural landmark that serves as a gateway to the nation's capital, connecting Amtrak's national network with regional commuter trains, the D.C. Metro, and countless bus lines. For decades, it's also been a bustling commercial space filled with restaurants, shops, and offices. But over the past few years, Union Station has been facing major challenges. The COVID-19 pandemic devastated foot traffic. Many stores shut down. Security issues, homelessness, and maintenance problems have turned what was once a proud landmark into an area of concern for both commuters and local authorities. The Biden administration and local D.C. leaders have tried to revitalize Union Station through partnerships and grants, but progress has been slow. That's where this new development comes in. The Trump administration, as part of its second-term infrastructure and public management strategy, has announced plans to take federal control of the station. According to the Department of Transportation's statement, the administration intends to make Union Station a model of federal infrastructure revitalization, bringing it back under the management of the federal government instead of the local or private entities that have been operating it in recent years. Now, this decision didn't come out of nowhere. Union Station is technically owned by the federal government through Amtrak and the Union Station Redevelopment Corporation. But it's been leased and managed by private operators since the 1980s. Over time, that arrangement has led to layers of bureaucracy, disagreements over renovation plans, and delayed upgrades. The Trump team argues that taking direct federal control will streamline operations, cut red tape, and allow for faster progress in turning Union Station back into a safe, efficient, and profitable transit hub. Critics, however, see it differently. Some D.C. officials and Democratic lawmakers are calling the move a power grab, another example of federal overreach into local affairs. They argue that D.C. should have a say in what happens to its most prominent public spaces. There's also concern that the administration's plans could prioritize commercial interests or privatization over community needs. Several transportation advocacy groups have expressed fears that the takeover could reduce transparency and limit input from local stakeholders who understand the daily realities of the station's challenges. From an economic standpoint, though, there's no denying that Union Station needs help. Ridership and revenue have not fully recovered since the pandemic, and many of the shops remain empty. The station has also struggled with structural issues like leaky roofs, outdated escalators, and poor lighting. The Trump administration claims that their new oversight will inject hundreds of millions of dollars in new federal funds into renovation projects, including improved passenger amenities, better security systems, and enhanced accessibility for disabled travelers. They've also hinted at expanding retail options and upgrading digital infrastructure, such as real-time tracking displays and contactless ticketing systems. Transportation Secretary Elaine Chao, who's returning to a leadership role under the Trump administration, stated that the government wants to make Union Station the shining heart of America's capital once again. She mentioned that the administration's infrastructure plan will include partnerships with private developers, but under stricter federal guidelines. That's an interesting twist because it suggests that while the station may remain open to business ventures, Washington will have more direct say in how it's run and what kind of companies get involved. Still, not everyone's convinced that federal control will fix the deeper problems. For years, D.C. residents and commuters have complained that Union Station has been neglected both by city officials and by Amtrak. Some say the issue isn't management, but the lack of consistent investment and vision. Others worry that the Trump administration could shift focus away from public transportation and towards commercial development, turning the station into a profit-driven real estate project rather than a public utility. There's also a political dimension here that can't be ignored. The Trump administration has frequently clashed with D.C. officials on matters of governance, and this move might be seen as part of a broader effort to reassert federal authority over the capital. Some commentators point out that this could set a precedent. If the federal government can take over Union Station, could it do the same for other key D.C. properties? That question raises broader implications about autonomy, especially given that Washington, D.C. still lacks full statehood and voting representation in Congress. Supporters of the takeover, however, argue that this isn't about politics at all. It's about restoring order and pride to a critical piece of American infrastructure. They point out that Union Station isn't just a D.C. facility, it's a national hub serving millions of travelers every year. Its symbolic and practical importance goes beyond local politics. They say that if the federal government can bring in the expertise, funding, and vision to modernize it, everyone benefits. One of the key plans already being discussed involves transforming the surrounding area as well. The Trump administration's transportation team has suggested expanding parking capacity, introducing more high-end retail, and improving pedestrian safety around Columbus Circle. There's also talk of connecting Union Station more efficiently with nearby federal buildings and museums, making it not just a travel hub, but a gateway to the capital's cultural and civic heart. Environmental groups are watching closely, too. Any large-scale federal project today must meet sustainability standards, and early reports suggest the administration wants to highlight Union Station as a showcase for green federal infrastructure. Plans may include energy-efficient lighting, new HVAC systems, and better stormwater management. The administration has even hinted at exploring renewable energy options to power parts of the facility, though no detailed proposal has been released yet. Public reaction has been mixed. Many commuters are cautiously optimistic, saying they just want the station cleaned up and running smoothly again, but others, especially those who remember the complex history of redevelopment projects in D.C., remain skeptical. They fear promises of modernization could come with increased rents for tenants, more commercialization, and reduced public space for community use. Ultimately, what's happening with Union Station reflects a much larger question about who should control and maintain America's public spaces. Should it be local authorities who understand community needs, or the federal government that can marshal larger resources? In theory, the best outcomes happen when both work together, but as history shows, that's easier said than done. As we look ahead, all eyes will be on how this plan unfolds in the coming months. The Trump administration is expected to release a detailed redevelopment roadmap later this year, outlining specific timelines and budgets. Congress may also get involved as lawmakers debate the implications for D.C.'s autonomy and for federal infrastructure policy nationwide. For now, the story of Union Station is entering a new chapter, one that could redefine not only the look and function of this grand old building, but also the relationship between the capital city and the federal government itself. Whether this will bring long-awaited renewal or stir more controversy remains to be seen. But one thing's for sure, the future of Union Station will be closely watched, both by those who pass through its halls every day and by those who see it as a symbol of America's broader struggle to balance heritage, governance, and progress. That's all for today's deep dive. If you found this breakdown helpful, don't forget to like, comment, and share your thoughts below. Do you think federal control is the right move for Union Station, or should D.C. handle it locally? I'd love to hear your perspective. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.